Well, Lumpy, just some follow-up from our last episode. My dumbass could not, for the life of me, remember the name of the guy who ate 74 hot dogs last year at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. And, sorry, 70.5, not 75.
That's a whole lot of wieners.
That's a lot of wiener. That's a glizzy fest, if you will. I don't even know where the name glizzy comes from, but I've heard it plenty.
Gotta look that up.
So this is Joey Chestnut we're talking about. So we have a couple corrections to make from episode 19. And Joey Chestnut did, in fact, have a run-in with the Nathan's hot dog eating contest championship, in that he had a sponsor that was outside of the approved sponsors. So they barred him for a year. And then when he came back, 70.5 hot dogs down his gullet. And if you've ever seen the man up close, not just while he's sitting there duck chowing some hot dogs and bread, the dude's jaw, you don't want to mess with that thing. Like it's a tool.
You can gnaw your arm off.
I think so. Like you've like, what was the climber that got stuck in a crevice somewhere and had to cut his arm off with a pocket knife? I think Joey could gnaw through that in just a couple bites.
Dip it in water and he got stuck in a crevasse.
Well, that's I was debating on how to pronounce that the right way. You know, crevice, crevasse, whatever.
Like a croissant or a croissant.
Croissant. I love that. And croissants. There you go. Buttery goodness. Absolutely bangers of food. I love them. And then we got to go to a riot.
Yeah.
My goodness. What do you remember from the riot, if anything?
Nothing at all. I'm only kidding. I remember everything. I had a good time.
Yeah.
We met a lot of great people.
Sure did.
But we'll get into that a little farther in the show.
Yep. So, what do you say? Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Yo, step right in, it's a funky display. Talking shit, today's the vibe we portray. No filters, no rules, just letting it flow. Strap in, folks, it's the shit show. Welcome to the shit show, buckle up tight. We're dropping raw truth, keeping it light. Laughs and chaos, that's how we play. Talking shit today, all night, all day. All day. Yo, step right in, it's a funky display. Talking shit, today's the vibe we put.
So, welcome everyone to Talking Shit Today.
Welcome back. New listeners, welcome in.
Episode 20.
Episode 20.
And this is, unfortunately, but fortunately, it's a haul back to just you and I sitting at the microphone. Bullshitting, having fun, talking shit.
Indeed.
Red's not able to join us today because
he's having his penis enlarged.
Well, you got to get that extra inch somewhere.
Wow,
50% improvement.
They don't call me the Angry Inch for nothing.
So we're going through and we have, I think, a hell of a show lined up.
I think so.
So we're going to have a couple classic weeders banging it out with each other to figure out which one's going to win top. And while we don't know which is which in the glass, because we're doing this completely blind, we're going to put them up against the Talking Shit Today rating scale and let the winner come out on top.
The War of the Wheat.
War of the Wheat. Weeder War, Weeder Showdown. Better than a Wiener Showdown.
Like Joey Chestnut did.
Right. And then we're going to spend a little bit of time visiting who the asshole is. I think that's going to be pretty interesting. And then, of course, we've got to go and expand on our really good quality conversation that we had on men's mental health in our last episode, where we got to really kind of talk more about anger.
Part three on the angry.
Yeah. I think it's still a worthwhile conversation. And this one kind of takes it a step lower. So a little bit deeper inside. So I'm ready to get into it. What about you?
I am so for it. Let's go.
All right. Got a couple of things breathing here. So,
hey, X, what's in the glass?
I'm glad you asked.
What's in the glass? What's in the glass? Sip slow, talk slick, made the good times last. Clink it one time, then we run that track. Talking shit today, what's in the glass? 2 mics, 1 vibe, big grin in the room. Notes
in the air like a baseline groove. Sniff, sip, then the truth gets past. We don't start the show till we answer what's in a glass.
All right, in front of us, we have glasses that we do not know what's in them other than it's bourbon. We do know that it's wheated. And when I say we don't know what's in them, that's not entirely true. We know that we've got a very classic BTAC, Antiqu Weller 107. Someone's going to be upset for how I said that. That's okay.
A very tasty pour.
Very tasty pour. Very difficult to get a hold of most of the time.
It's been more prevalent, though.
It has been, and depending on what state you're in, like when I was in Michigan, I saw them at 3 different stores.
Yeah.
Come to Florida, they don't exist. Except if you're at the right ABC Liquor, apparently.
Yeah, I'm told their ABC has them on the regular. So I gotta make a stop by and see what's going on there.
So I did stop at one recently, and it did not have Weller Antique, but it had Special Reserve, which it almost always has.
What is in glass B?
So, and what we have in, well, I don't know what's in B. I just know that we've got them labeled A and B. But the other bottle is a little more common these days, but it's also a classic. This one used to be a BTAC, and now it is owned by Heaven Hill, and this is Old Fitzgerald 7-year.
Oh, I got you. So we don't know which one's in which glass. That was whatever.
It's a blind, man. That's okay. So we have had it poured out for a bit, and I did get some help from a lovely assistant that helped make sure that we did not know what these are. And so I have the answer sitting in my pocket, and I promise you don't have to reach for it. What I am excited for us to do is to get into these Glens, and we'll take the journey that we like. So first off, how them pretty legs, the look, the color, what is our first impression, just taking it in. Then on the nose, then on the palate, then finish. And we do know a little bit about price. So we can talk about that when we're rating it. But again, price does not influence the final score.
Never should.
So, and then we'll go into a little bit more as far as those of you that have only listened to one episode where we've used it. We have a rating scale that ranges from dog shit, garbage, meh. That was solid, bro. That's a banger. It's fucking legendary, dude. So this keeps us away from trying to say it's an 8.7265 or it's, 1.5 nachos. Like this just, it's a little arbitrary, but at the same time, I think it's pretty useful. And as always, it's a work in progress.
You can't be 8 lightning bolts?
Maybe we'll go with lightning bolts.
I'll take that over cats' assholes.
Every time you mention asshole, I always think of that Wyatt Earp that we had. So, all right. You've got some demarcation to know what glass you're holding on to. And we, as it turned out, we're holding on to the same decorated Glens. We've got a Glen from Flavier that we got in a advent calendar. And then we have our Whiskey Festival glasses. So starting there, and you went in on the nose a little too soon. So let's just start with how it looks in the glass.
Beautiful color. Nice, rich amber, the way a bourbon should be.
Mm-hmm.
Not too light. Looks good, man.
I agree with all your notes on the way that it looks. The only criticism, if I could have any, is that it is pretty fast on the legs. So while there's a thickness to what's sticking to the glass, it runs down pretty quickly for me.
Still pretty handsome.
So on the appearance, will you rate this dog shit, garbage, meh, solid, banger, or legendary?
I'd say it's pretty solid. I'd go with solid on that one for sure.
I agree with your sentiment on solid. Now, let's get into the nose. And yes, it is said that you must really get into it to appreciate it. All right, on the nose, I'll start. I'm getting a good, proper bourbon nose. It definitely smells a bit oaky and a little bit sweet, but otherwise nothing is jumping out like, oh my God, this is the greatest fucking thing ever, or something that's incredibly unique. For me, it's I guess I would say a classic nose. I'm not picking up anything like floral. I'm not picking up anything citrus. I'm not picking up anything outside of just your kind of standard fare. I don't know. What are you getting?
Well, I'm going to kind of disagree with you there. I'm getting very floral. I'm getting, and I say this in a good way, like fresh cut grass, if you can almost imagine that. I'm still whiffing it.
This isn't matcha, dude.
Thank God, because I wouldn't be drinking it.
This stuff is so gross.
I'm getting the oak.
Yep.
It's all very subtle. It's not robust. It's not like, bam, you know, which we've had some that like you can smell the shit before you even pull the Glen up to your face.
Sure. Well, and then to talk a little bit about these bottles, just, you know, the Antiqu 107, it is the same recipe that is used in the Pappy lineup. It differs only in the age, well, not only, but it differs in the age statement, and it differs in the barrels that it's kept in, and of course where it's aged at. In general, it's agreed upon that the Antiqu has a 7-year age statement, somewhere thereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
They don't disclose the actual mash bill, but between the Old Fitz and the Antiqu, what I've read anyway says that it's got a higher corn, lower wheat ratio than what the Old Fitz has.
Okay.
And then as far as Old Fitz, it's 100 proof because it's a bonded. And this is clearly a 7-year age statement. And the mash bill is known. It's 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley.
Okay.
Both of these titles, if you will, long history. Very, very long history. So where are you at in rating your nose?
I'm going to go with solid.
I did just the same. And then we get to go to the fun stuff. We get to taste it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I pick up floral. Now it is that sweet punch right
There
on
it
the
is.
front.
There it is.
And that's kind of what I like about the wheateds, is that sweetness that's there. A little bit oak on the mid. Oh, that's delicious.
That is a tasty pour there, sir.
Yes. I can say that I have, I like the palate a lot more than I like the nose.
It doesn't help that I'm still slightly recovering from my bout of allergies from all of our pollen drop here in Florida.
Oh, yeah. It's when the tree rapes your car.
And me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rapes my respiratory system.
Oh, yeah.
Deep-throated me. No, definitely a good palate. Good finish, too. Not long, but good.
Yeah, I didn't want to jump ahead to the finish necessarily. No, don't apologize. It's hard not to have that go hand in hand when you're tasting through, especially that you want to give it a second taste, see if the second is as good as the first. All right. So what do you want to give this on the palate?
I'm gonna kick it up a notch on this one. I'm gonna go with a banger.
So you and I are still in accord. This is gonna make the war of the wheateds. If the next one turns out just the same, that'll be pretty interesting. All right, and then on the finish, like I said, it's hard to not have palate and finish kind of hand in hand. So I've had a couple sips.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still tasting it on the palate. So I think this one for me, on the finish, I'm going to stick in the banger category.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the finish. I thought it brought out a lot of the same flavors that were there on the palate. It finishes a little more oaky, but still retains the sweetness that kind of punches you when you first get it. The floral kind of goes away, and I think it sticks. I think it sticks pretty well.
Yeah, it's okay. We've had better, we've had worse.
Sure.
So, yeah, at least we're lockstep.
All right, so banger on that. Now the question, because we don't know which one of these two this is, whether this is the Antiqu or whether it's the Old Fitz. So it's difficult to talk about price, but I think it's an interesting point for us to get into. The Antiqu 107 is incredibly difficult to come by most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the allocated lineups, and depending on your state, depends on how you get it. And the MSRP, you ready? $30.
Isn't that crazy?
The secondary, anywhere from 50 to 100. So I didn't pay 100 for this, nor did I pay 30 for it. So it's absolutely insane that a $30 bottle, you can just throw that out, because unless you get it at MSRP, and even in stores in Florida, you will not always find it at MSRP because they can hike it up more.
Sure.
So I think the least I've ever seen it in a store or in Florida was $110.
Wow.
That's the least I've ever seen it. Now, I don't know what ABC is selling it for now when they've got it on the shelf, hopefully for MSRP. And we just need to find the right ABC, because I would stock that all the time if I could. That Weller was one of the first. I got that, and I got a 12-year together. And that was a really great set of bottles to have. And we blew through them in decent time. We didn't like one night get them all done, but we kept going, knowing that it wasn't going to last.
Yeah.
So as far as value on that, this one for me, it's hard to say I will not pay secondary for it, because simply put, you're just not going to see it.
Yeah. No.
So depends on how much you're willing to spend on it, on secondary. But
as good as it is, I'm not sure it's $100 bottle.
Okay. Well, I would say I spent $100 on the first bottle that I ever had of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm willing to spend less than that now. And I think just going back to the fact that there are so many great bottles to get between the $20 and $60 range, you don't have to exhaust yourself unless you're trying to complete your rainbow, or you just really love these bottles. Or like Corey said when he was on the show, well, people just trade for reds. They don't want money when they're trading. They just want another antique.
Oh, right. Corey from Cracked Skull.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So, all right. Well, we've got our scores in, and I can record where we're at. So are you ready for the next one?
Let's go.
All right. A little bit of a palate cleanse. Sir, that is some good fucking water.
That's some high quality H2O.
Water boy. That was a classic. All right, getting into the next one. Same bat time, same bat channel. We are going to start with, how does it look to you, sir?
It's got that same, almost exact same shade of that rich mahogany color.
It is crazy how closely these two resemble each other, knowing that they're completely different distilleries, completely different bottles, completely different spaces in the country in which they come from, and they're almost indistinguishable from a look perspective. But look at the legs on this one compared to what I was dealing with before.
This one has much better legs.
Much better legs. And why does that matter? I think it lets me know that I'm expecting something that's going to coat my mouth better.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's that viscosity that you're looking for, that oiliness that you're expecting from that finished product.
And by the way, even though we're talking about these weeders now, that actually brings up something to catch up on from our previous episode. I spoke with Ryan since we did our feature in episode 19 on Fire and Flask, those 3 different batches. And he confirmed his is unfiltered.
I like it.
I do too. I think we were just fawning over the mouthfeel, the coat, the legs, like everything about that. So I think I'm a real big fan of the unfiltered.
And I would have to go and agree with you on that, sir.
I'm just going to say, I think the rating on this one's pretty darn easy as far as the look, the feel, and
I'm going to go with a banger on this one.
I'm going to up that to legendary. I just look at how
Really?
this is holding. Yeah. Like I might need to get a toothbrush just to be able to get that line off my glass. It's not moving.
Well, you know what? Now that I'm still sitting here looking at this thing,
I love that.
I'm going to still go with banger.
You're still going to go with
I'm sticking-
La Banger?
La banger. Lumpy la banger.
There we go. All right. So on the nose, sir, time for us to get into it.
Sniff it up.
They are different on the nose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like very different, actually.
Night and day. I'm actually getting like raisin.
Something in that dark fruit category.
Yeah. Not strong. It's subtle, but it's there. I'm getting a lot of, so far, sweet. I can't place the sweet. I don't want to say it's like brown sugar sweet.
To me, there's a bit of tobacco in that.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
This is darker. This is a darker aroma to it than the other one.
Yeah. I'll give it the tobacco. Yeah.
I agree with you in all other ways too, but yeah, that the legs are still going.
Dude, this has so much better nose.
I don't know if I say it's better. Maybe it is. Yeah.
It's a better nose. It's bolder.
It's bolder. Yeah.
It's more standout. It's like you're not guessing.
Yep.
I mean, you still have to figure it out with your nose, but.
All right. Well, for sure, I think I'm going to go with banger myself on the nose for this one.
I'll second that.
Okay. And time for the good stuff.
Ooh-wee.
That to me is very similar, but it's a bit spicier.
Yes.
So that sweetness hits you right away, which I think is typical of the wheat. But this one sits spicier on the front. I can pick out maybe a cinnamon. You know, it did something in the barrel. It's got a different kind of sweetness to it. I'm not picking up a whole lot of oak right away.
Oh, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
You get that on the finish, which again goes hand in hand. But
it's a good finish too. Just as it's making its way.
Absolutely.
So, what are your thoughts?
I like this better.
Okay.
So on the front side,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give this a banger on the palate.
Okay. I think that this is definitely in banger category.
Mm-hmm. I like that spicy hit.
Yeah. Yeah, I am a fan of that. I think that's one of the reasons why I like Rise so much.
I agree.
Because you get that kind of punch of spice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not proof. None of these are heavy proofed. This is solid as far as that goes. So, but instead of solid, I'm going to go with banger as well. And then why don't you describe for me how you're taking the finish?
It's a longer finish.
Okay.
This is definitely got a better overall mouthfeel, like the coating, and follows through into the finish.
Yeah. And as you call it, or as others do too, but if you really get in that Kentucky chew, it's all over the place. You can feel it on the roof of your mouth. You can feel it in your cheeks. You can feel it all over your tongue.
I'm drinking more of this than the other one.
Yeah. That is good.
I like this, so.
I know we're not going to go in the lower half. So in the upper half, where are you calling it?
Banger.
Banger as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually tossed on the finish here between banger and legendary, only for the fact that this is longer in the finish.
I can't give this legendary because I've had, and you have had, so many other pours that just, to quote Big Red, eyes roll back in your head.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we've certainly had that.
That's, to me, is legendary. When you can actually take a sip and you just, your eyes roll back because your sensories have taken over in your palate and your nose to the point that your eyes shut off and you start looking. Your eyeballs are trying to go back into your head to look into your brain to see what's happening in your tongue.
Yeah.
So
This is pretty tasty.
It's very good. I'm not gonna downplay that at all. It's banger status for me, and you know, it's
All
the
right.
high end of banger. If we could do, if banger was like an 8 to 9, this is like an 8.9.
Sure. Yeah. So I will.
But we don't do that shit here on TST.
That would take refinement.
Once we hit 5 years, we're no longer basic bitches.
I suppose. So we'll get there. We're halfway to a year, so that's
Well, on the show, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about on our bourbon journey.
I think I'll still be a basic bitch at that point.
Yeah,
I'm not drinking bourbon out of a box, but you know,
is that a thing?
we'll make it a thing. We'll show up in the next Whiskey Riot.
Where's my bourbon box, bitches?
We'll have a bourbon box.
Like fucking Franzia wine.
Oh yeah, exactly. So all right, well, results are in. So which one do you think took on the TST rating scale number 1, A or B? We started with A, we finished with B.
I'm gonna go with B.
B is in fact the winner between the two. Now,
Can I guess before you tell
should
us?
absolutely guess.
I think B is the 107.
I think you're right. And it's not because I've had it recently. I have had the Fitz recently. I think it's because it's got it. I'll be surprised if it's not, only for the fact that it really is more classically bourbon. And it's not as sweet.
This tastes B-Tech.
So
I was reading it before you
yeah.
did.
So yes, in fact, B is the Weller Antiqu 107. So as it turns out, that's 2 that we picked out as being B-Tech. The first one in Bourbon Wars, which we kind of got pretty wrong.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
But, and just to, fall on the sword the proper way, we judged a GTS that it was an Eagle Rare, only for the fact that the juice in the bottle looked like it was the same consistency of an Eagle Rare, and boy, were we way the fuck off.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
So, all right, well, I think that was really good, and I have a couple things to sit here and keep sipping on, so I like that. So, what we get to go into next, sir, after we've talked through what's in the glass, is I think we should visit the Whiskey Riot in a little more detail.
Oh,
so let me paint the picture, and then I want you to jump in next.
Okay.
So besides the fact I lost my phone, and that's a whole nother conversation, or an extension of this one, which is just funny. We got into a lift, being the responsible bitches that we are.
Coming from a whiskey festival.
And no, I'm not. I didn't fast forward to losing my phone. Going to the beginning of it. We like to prepare. We like to be ready. And what do? We got there a full hour and a half before it was set to start.
It was about that.
When we got there, we were sort of knocking on doors, and finally the lady that was running the event comes and lets us in, and we're literally the first people through. Then somebody else shows up, and we're standing in the same spot before we could actually get to the front of the line, which there was no front of the line. We were the front of the line. But before they were willing to let us line up where the what the fuck are those things? The
cattle chutes.
Well, the cattle chutes, but there was a metal detectors that we had to get through. So they divided the line up into 2, and then they started letting people go up
in the other line first.
In the other line that had been waiting less time than what we had. So we're trying not to feel some kind of way about that. And the poor people that were, being quote unquote security, they had no clue what was going on.
They had no plan. They had zero plan.
But we still got to, once we got past that staging area, we got to go to near the front of this very wide open room. It was smaller than I thought it would be.
Oh, it was.
And I don't think that took away from the experience, because there were still, what I'm going to say, 20, 30 tables there.
It was easy to navigate, for sure.
And it was super easy to navigate, which at the whiskey festival we went to, that was 3 floors.
Oh, yeah.
To navigate, which was okay. But you're also at the Orlando Science Center, so you had exhibits to, maneuver your way around, and there were some tight spaces there. This one didn't really have any tight spaces. We did a good job. Once we got in, we got our free pour.
We did.
We made our way over to, do you remember the first table we stopped at?
I did. That was, wasn't that not Four Branches. It was, Jesus Christ. I know it now.
Yeah, I remember it. Anyway, they were the same person who had the free pour. And so we stopped over there first, got that, and then we started making our way over to Old Dominic, said hi to Steven and his wife, and we got our
Sagamore.
Was it Sagamore? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was like something else, but that's okay.
Boondocks.
Boondocks, that's right.
That's Boondocks.
So we made our way over to Boondocks. They're the ones that offered up the free pour that we all got to have to start with. And we had another one of their expressions, an older one. Went from there, made our way over to the Old Dominic booth, talked with Steven for a little bit, got that 8-year double oaked, which is just fucking fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
We kept trying to send people over to it, just telling them how good it was. And I'll stop from there and turn it over to you, good sir, as far as the next stage of that journey.
So from there, it was just a free-for-all. We started bouncing between a bunch of different tables. We got to see some really cool providers, I'll call them, like the forward slash, which
yeah.
we ended up each buying a bottle from. And they're local to Central Florida.
Yep. They're an outfit out of Winter Park.
Yep.
And they do nothing but blending and finishing.
Correct.
So, yep.
Bunch of good guys. Hope to see them again. They invited us to do our podcast there if we wanted to, which we'll most likely take them up on at some point.
Yes, sir. We want to be there, sir. Absolutely.
And a couple good ones that really stood out to me was the Sagamore. That Sagamore rye was quite a tasty pour.
It was. Dark Arts Bud Blend. Oh my God, was that good?
Blunt blend.
Blunt blend. Sorry, same difference.
Buds, blunts.
Yeah,
buds make blunts.
They're cigar-ish blend. It was really, really good. Castle and Key was also really good. We got to reconnect with our friend over at the Bullet table.
And
so
the dude from Castle and Key is a listener.
Yes, he is. So we can't wait to get more and more of these folks on the show. Did you whore yourself out absolutely as much as you could?
I gave out every single one of our cards, that's for sure.
I was so happy that we were able to make these really cool metal cards that were laser etched with our logo on it and some contact information. And I don't think we left with any in our pocket. So we did really good to hand it out to potential listeners and brands that we really hope to have on the show. Blue Note was there. Their lineup was pretty good.
Yep.
Forward slash, I think, was really fun to go through because each and every one of those expressions was very different from the other. And because they're local, they've done some other fun things. RD1 was another good one.
Yes.
And one of the pours that they were offering was actually a barrel pick that they did with a local bourbon club.
That's right.
So Four Branches was there.
Yep.
She had, of course, told the great story that they've got and offered up some really great bourbon. I did skip the tequila and I did skip the rum, except for one pour of rum I was told I had to have. To be honest, it was okay, but I got a cool hat from the experience. So still have that.
I missed both of those intentionally.
I don't disagree that it should have been skipped. And it's not because it was bad. If you like rum, I'm just not a fan. Like I haven't found a rum that I can really set with. So
yeah. Not a rum guy.
Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, let the rum people have it and the bourbon people will keep having bourbon.
Indeed. More bourbon for us.
And some people can do both. I'm just not one of those people.
Nah.
Basic bitch.
Basically bourbon.
So was there any like stand out for you in the experience of going to the Orlando Whiskey Riot?
I would have to say I'm still starry-eyed over the Old Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the best pour I had at the show. You know, maybe we're a little jaded because we've had our own VIP experience here on the show.
Sure.
You know, thanks to Steven.
Yep.
And everything that they sent us, or he sent us rather, everything that he sent us, for the exception of the toddy, was beyond impressive, especially at the price point that Steven said that when they hit the shelves here in Florida, they will be launched at.
$40 to $60 every bottle.
I'm going to have a lineup of Old Dominic on my shelf.
Yeah.
Shit, we just got 3. How about that? And we're going to try those tonight.
Yes. Well, and in all technicality, I think maybe the Huel station is the only one the Hueling station is the only one we didn't have.
Correct.
But we've had everything else.
Oh, yeah.
So, and Steven, thank you.
Yes, sir.
For being a friend of the show, and, you know, we'll continue to support you where we can. I want to say that probably my favorite thing that happened was first learning that the rep from Castle and Key already knew the show, was already a listener, and was excited to meet us. That was the first time that I have met somebody outside of me peddling the podcast to somebody that was like, hey, no, I listen. I was like, that's cool as fuck. And then I think my other favorite moment was reconnecting with the gentleman over at the Bullet table. 2 reasons. One, the really wonderful underground pour that we had at the whiskey festival is now being bottled, and we got to have that again.
Yep.
While I'm not a fan of Bullet normally, that particular bottle was very good. The other reason was he actually hosts mental health segment conversations and helps push those along. So we resonate with him as far as that topic is concerned. And it was just really great to connect with him on those points. And so we will have him on the show at some point, and it will be a really good opportunity for us to continue our exploration into the topics that we discuss about men's mental health.
Yep.
So I thought that was really cool.
And also, being that this month is still Mental Health Awareness Month, which is important for us to make sure we point out.
Sure.
And for those who are listening, one thing is important. If you like what you're hearing, like, follow, share, and comment. We could always use that little push. Tell us what you think. Hit us up. Hit us up at talkingshittoday@gmail.com. Give us some input. Give us something to talk about. Let's talk about you.
Sure. No, thank you for reminding us to always put out that call to action. And don't forget, you're probably listening to us in your car right now, or maybe on YouTube. But for those of you that are first timers, just know that you can find us anywhere you look for your podcasts. We're on Apple Podcast. We're hosted on Spotify. We are on YouTube. We're on Apple Music. And then all the aggregators that get podcasts from those sources, you can find us there as well.
So I got a little Easter egg I wanted to throw out there.
Yes.
And I don't think you still know where you stumbled across this, but there was a site that had the 80 best shit podcasts that are funny, wild, and unfiltered. No, it's 80. Talking Shit Today.
0. Yes.
Talking Shit Today ranked
81st.
number 19.
What?
19.
We got rated 19 out of 80 podcasts that have anything to do with talking shit. Good sir. Don't know how that shit happens, but thank you very much for those that have helped put us into an interesting ranking that we had no idea existed.
No, not at all. We find that really cool.
Absolutely. So we had to leave the riot at some point in time, and we were very kind to the people that were packing up and leaving.
Yes, we were.
And we offered to every single table that was still there the opportunity for them to go home with less stuff that they had to worry about packing up.
And they reciprocated the kindness.
Without going into too much detail, yes, there were some additional samplings.
I think we left with 4 or 5 extra bottles than we came with, not including the one that we purchased from /.
Yeah, that was amazing. So I think that goes to show that if you're willing to be kind and supportive of folks, they'll reciprocate.
Oh, yeah.
And that's super damn cool. So
It was.
I love the community. And I also have to give a call out to the gal that was working the James R. Pepper booth. First off, James R. Pepper, the only thing I know about them is that dark chocolate juice that they've got, like a whiskey that you have, and it is like dipping a chocolate bar into your whiskey and then drinking the whiskey. Like it's really, really delicious. And it has a really beautiful decanter bottle that it comes in. So it's very polished, very, proper as far as all that's concerned. So she was really fun to talk to.
Oh, she was cool.
And she let us have everything that was in the lineup. The rye, the straight whiskey. They also had these bottles that were 1776, a straight bourbon and a rye.
Yep.
Those were all fantastic. And I think the most fun was the conversation with her about her experience. Also just what she was offering up and just being super engaging. It was really cool. All right. So Lumpy, we had to leave at some point too. And that's kind of where things...
I don't want to go.
And that's kind of where things didn't fall apart until literally we got dropped off in your driveway.
It fell apart for you.
Our Lyft experience, the driver getting there, he was fine.
Indeed.
He was difficult to talk to, but otherwise he was friendly. Seemed like he wanted to be engaging. It was just a little bit challenging to speak with him.
He's like, shut your mouth, drunk boy.
We weren't drunk yet.
Speak for yourself.
So on the way back, though, we had some really great conversations with the gentleman, and I let my phone slip right out of my pocket and into the back seat and left the car without grabbing my phone. I did recognize it after the Lyft driver drove away that my phone was not in my pocket, but I did not know if I left it back at the Riot or in the car.
You did get it back, though, which is
good. I did. However, the next day was interesting for the both of us.
Mother's Day.
So I got to spend Mother's Day without the ability to take pictures on my own phone for the first time.
Should have been walking around with your iPad like...
With the iPad? I'm not that old. It's just like when we're at competition and I see grandma using her iPad to take video that she's not supposed to be taking of the dances. Yeah. So anyway, I got up early because I realized I didn't have my phone. I thought I lost it. I got a hold of the Whiskey Riot. So, first off, hats off to the Whiskey Riot people. They're professional, they're friendly, they're fun, and they did respond to me nearly right away. They got in touch with me about 5:30 in the morning. For whatever reason, I was up at 4:30 the next day after our experience at Whiskey Riot.
Boish.
So I was watching where my phone was. It wasn't at the Riot. It was someplace else. So I took the impression that maybe it got stolen. And in order to be careful with that, Apple's let you put your phone into lost mode, which locks it. You can only the account person can be the person that can unlock the phone. And then later on in the day, I watched it literally going from place to place to place to place that I didn't recognize. What I should have thought right then and there is, the Lyft driver has it. Let me get a hold of Lumpy and say, hey, can you have the Lyft driver come back so that way we can get the phone? And instead of doing that, I thought, no, some kids got my phone and they're trying to take it places. And so what did I do? I put it in stolen mode, which wiped it. So I also filed a claim to have the phone replaced, spent the money that I needed to on the deductible to have the phone replaced, only to find out about 4 hours later after you texted my wife and said, the Lyft driver let me know that he's got the phone.
Sorry, man.
So
I didn't get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh no, you're fine. But I had to undo the return or the replacement. I had to eventually get the phone, which he was cool, dropped it off. Of course, didn't realize that it was just a pay service that Lyft has to return your phone. So whatever. And got the phone back, got it logged back in, and then I've had to work through progressively reconnecting things to my phone. So for the first time in my life, I've lost my phone legitimately, and had a gap in time where I didn't have the phone. Now, not having the phone didn't give me undue anxiety, except for the fact that I thought I had to replace it. I probably had anxiety from that, but the not having the phone on Mother's Day was actually pretty damn cool. So, except that where we went, I needed a map to get there.
Well, you got two other phones, right?
And we do, right? So we were able to use other phones to be able to get where we were going. And we had a really good Mother's Day. We do a tradition every year where we go to Lucas Nursery in Oviedo, and they have a butterfly garden. And they used to give you a Mother's Day plant or flower to moms on Mother's Day. And we've literally been going there ever since my big was born.
Okay.
So we've been going there 17 years.
Wow.
So, matter of fact, my little was still only mommy could hold her the first time that she's been at the facility. So it's a fun tradition. It's unfortunately sweltering hot every single time we go.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no such thing as good airflow. There's no such thing as air conditioning at a garden place. So, but it's fun. We still get to go and enjoy ourselves and see the butterflies and buy a plant we try to not kill for a year. And yeah, we had a pretty good time. What about you? What did you end up doing for Mother's Day?
Probably 6 weeks before Mother's Day, I made a reservation for brunch for the three of us, for my little big little, whatever you want to call her, wifey. And so we had brunch, and then we went to the Orlando Museum of Art, which was a complete disappointment.
Oh, no.
Half the museum was closed. They didn't charge us full price because it was half closed. It was half price.
Okay.
Which was okay, I guess. But we went through the entire museum in an hour.
Okay.
Nice pieces in there, sculptures, a lot of artifacts. So that was pretty cool. It was a nice day overall because we usually go to Lou Gardens.
Okay.
On Mother's Day. Same thing you mentioned, hot, humid, no air conditioning. And, you end up with swamp ass after the first 30 minutes that you're there.
Oh, of course.
But overall, it was a nice day.
Good.
It was a nice day.
I'm glad that you got to have a nice day for Mother's Day. And, we had got to have an adventure with the Riot that actually extended beyond being at the Riot. So
Indeed. It was a good time.
So, well, what I want to be able to do as well is kind of segue now into our men's mental health episode. Before I do, though, I want to turn it right over to you and give us our routine and important reminder about the suicide prevention hotline.
The National Suicide Prevention Hotline. The number is 988. Call, text, or chat. If you're feeling some sort of way, give them a call. What can it hurt? Talk to someone. You need to be with us here again, talking shit today. Again, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. 988. Call, text, or chat.
And while that service is still around, let me just also add in, you're not allowed to quit.
No.
You're not allowed to quit. All right. So, Lumpy, we have been on this kind of kick about talking about anger. It started with a really quick examination of a Disney movie and why anger is kind of the dominant emotion that men are allowed to show, why it's the representative emotion for men, as depicted in at least that movie.
I love that movie.
And then we got to go in a little bit deeper about what we do with our anger, where we learned our anger from, and how to process, how to respond versus react. But I wanted to take it a step further. So what I want to get into is kind of like what's underneath it all and what do we do with it? Kind of want to go one floor down and talk about Stoicism, what it means to be stoic in dealing with your emotions. I think that when people talk about these emotions, and especially when they talk about pairing emotional response or unemotional response with Stoicism, they don't quite get what real Stoicism is. And not to say that the Stoics had it right, but it is certainly an interesting approach philosophically for how to live one's life.
So if I can interject on that for people who don't really understand what Stoicism is, this is, in a nutshell, it's really an ancient Hellenistic philosophy, and this is from ancient Greece, that teaches this self-control, emotional resilience, and rational thinking as tools for navigating the unpredictable challenges of life. That's Stoicism.
Yep. And Marcus Aurelius famously wrote at length about his ideas on Stoicism, his journals, his meditations, and those are things that are still studied today. And Marcus Aurelius was an emperor, a general, in general, a leader. And in Roman society especially, there were certain ways that you had to conduct yourself. And there was a decorum you always had to follow. And that was a big part of his thinking. Other notable names from the era, Seneca, and one that I'm going to struggle with the enunciation of, but is Epictetus, was another writer that was prolific in providing insights, thoughts, and philosophies in and around Stoicism.
So, I mean, it has a lot to do also with emotional self-control and calm problem solving.
Yes. What it's not hiding your emotions. It's not shutting down your emotions. It's about processing them internally, addressing them yourself, addressing yourself and how you conduct yourself, and what you project outwardly.
Yeah.
I think it's not the finished product. It's the work that you put into yourself that provides what people see.
Yeah.
So,
so let's talk about how that relates to the anger topic.
Sure. Well, in my thought process, we've talked a lot about where our anger comes from. We've also qualified that it is okay. I've said it before on the show, and I always go back to like simple, because I'm a simple bitch at the end of the day. And it's simply put, you feel what you feel, your feelings are real.
Yep.
And to me, what that does is it affirms that it's okay to carry an emotion. You can be jealous, you can be angry, you can be hurt, you can be scared, and all of these things are okay. Your response to them can be not okay, especially if your response inflicts pain, suffering, or something bad on somebody else, right? So whether you feel like they deserve it or not, right? Like that's it. Those are the areas where I would say that your response can be judged, but your feelings should not be judged.
Okay, good point.
When I think about this and doing a little bit more reading on what Stoicism is really focusing on, it reinforces for me, and I mentioned this in the last show, I want to respond to things. I don't want to react to things. When I respond to things, I'm thoughtful, I'm mindful, which I think are two different things, and I am aware of what my actions through words or physical action can impact others. And while I don't necessarily have to care about others unless I love them, if I love them, then I'm going to care about them a lot. If I don't love them, then I'm not sure I care all that much. And I don't think that that's a cold way of dealing with society. I think that it's an appropriate way to navigate, because you should not try to inflict harm on others necessarily, I don't think.
No, you shouldn't.
I do think, though, that if you feel harmed, if you feel angered, if you feel scared, if you feel alone, if you feel any of these things, how you respond to those are what matters. If you can only react to them, you don't have any control at all. And for me, I'm always wanting more control over myself. And I don't always get that. I don't always have it, and I'm not always good at it.
That's something that's learned.
And practiced.
And practice too. Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
It'll sometimes take a lifetime to figure that one out. You know, I'm figuring that out more and more the older I get.
Mm-hmm.
I seem to see myself stepping back, not stepping away, stepping back,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to stepping forward right away when that anger hits.
Sure.
And I was never that way 20 years ago. I was just like, I get angry, came out guns blazing.
Sure.
Guns blazing. Not literally, figuratively, of course, but.
Well, and so where do you see that line between demonstrating emotion and being controlled by it?
That's a fantastic question. I don't know where that line is. I still don't know where that line is. It is always situationally dependent.
Sure.
It depends on that moment, that trigger, that particular situation, that that line is constantly moving.
I think that's fair. I have heard it framed, and I wish I could remember exactly where I heard it framed this way. But the difference between response and reaction is the moment of pause.
Hmm.
And if you can identify the moments of pause and take advantage of them, that's where you get to decide, if you can decide, between reacting to something and responding to it.
So again, it still falls back to the situation. If you literally don't have a chance to pause, if you don't have that opportunity to pause and it requires an immediate reaction, not something you can stand back from and say, let me analyze this situation. Let me see. Okay, this. You don't have that luxury to have that moment to analyze the situation. Sometimes it requires immediate reaction because it's such a either tense or even violent.
So I think let me challenge you,
Please.
to the idea that you're putting forward, because I agree with it, but I want to qualify it for people that are listening. What to you are those moments that do not give you the ability to take advantage of pause?
So if you were out in public
Mm-hmm.
and a stranger presents a situation to you that could become an altercation.
Such as?
Who knows? Somebody cuts you off in traffic.
Okay.
Are you going to pause 5, 10, 15 seconds, think about it before you flip them the bird?
Well,
or roll down your window and be like, what the fuck, Chuck?
So I think that is a moment you have to pause.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
To be very honest, because in today's day and age, there are more armed people,
especially in Florida,
than you know.
Mm.
And it used to be the occasional road rage incident. And those are not so road rage and not so occasional any longer. So
no, I agree.
But I think of it in the framing, not necessarily of the external strangers coming through and with the potential to cause you harm that you have to respond to or react to quickly.
Exactly.
I think of it more of our interpersonal relationships.
Okay.
With friends, with family, with colleagues, with children, and the way that we look at our interactions with them. And because there are certainly moments that the people I love will do things that hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely true. It has happened 100 times, and it will happen 100 more, if not more. And they don't necessarily get to control the fact that I might be angered by something that they did. I will always get to control how I respond to the situation if I can take that moment to pause. And there's one thing that I have recently, and I say recently, like within the last 2 or 3 months. And I'm not saying that I'm good at this, right? I'm not trying to say like I am unflawed and like I've got mastery over these things, because I most certainly fucking do not. But is your happiness worth more to you than your correctness? Is being happy and centered in your own mind better than or more important to you than what somebody else is thinking about you?
Fuck them. It's about my happiness.
Well, but what if it is your loved one?
Oh,
That is, and because I mentioned this in the last episode, right? One of the things for me that is challenging is when somebody I love is demonstrating to me a lack of faith in my judgment. Why would you make that choice? Why did you do this choice? Why would you come up with this without thinking about these other things? And that to me is asking if I cared enough to be thoughtful about why I did the thing I did.
Yeah.
While considering the people that I love, because of course I did. One of my hangups is that I not necessarily wait too much, but that I care a lot about the people that I love. And I will pause making choices sometimes in lieu of making sure that they're okay with the choice.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right. So in the moments where they question my thought process, I have to remember that my happiness is more important than my correctness. Do I need to be right in a situation, or do I need to be happy no matter what? So for the external folks, the people that I don't care about, I really can't put energy into them. You know, the person who cut me off, the person at the grocery store that wasn't paying attention, they walked directly in front of my kid and I had to stop my kid from walking into them. Like, those people truly don't matter. You're familiar with Fight Club?
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite, I don't know if I can quote it correctly because it's been a while, but one of my favorite parts of that is, let not matter that which does not.
Fair enough.
So
I like it.
It really, I mean, to me, that's a philosophical mindfuck of a movie. I freaking love that movie. But that idea that you should not waste energy on the things that are not worth wasting your energy on, I think are really important. So when I think about these things, I think about it more in terms of my interpersonal relationships with you or my other friends, my family, my colleagues, the people that I'm around more, that I choose to be around more. And so that's where I think about that moment of pause. I think it's interesting that you were thinking about it from if a person's going to pull a gun on me, I better be ready to do that too, or be ready to do that first. So I think that's a really interesting way to think about it as well, and just different from the way I normally think about that. So I think that's good. That's cool.
Well, if we can pause for a second, X,
Yeah.
I'd like to take a moment and see what we can. I want to continue this. I'd like to pop that old Dominic Hewling Station. It's sitting there staring at us.
Sure.
Like a good soldier.
Let's do it.
Saluting us. You want to drop the panties on that thing for us?
Sure thing. So as all of this relates to how we handle anger and from a Stoic's perspective, what do you try to do to identify moments of pause? Or do you try to identify moments of pause?
I'm pausing, waiting for the pop. All over you. All over you. Try to pour it in the glass, X. Not on yourself. We don't know how good it is yet. You start rubbing it all over yourself. Thank you, sir. So, quite honestly, I haven't been truly recently in a moment where I've had to find myself in a situation where I needed that moment of pause. I'm trying to reflect back on the last time where I've had to take that moment of pause, and it just came to me. So, it was my child who kind of pissed me off about something. Well, we won't get into that, and she did what she did, and she started walking away, and I was like, hey. And she turned around, and I just stared at her. And it was weird because that was my moment of pause, because I was like running a million scenarios through my head.
Sure.
It was probably 5 seconds, but you know as well as I do, when you're like, hey, and you stare at somebody for 5 seconds.
Sure.
Count 1 Mississippi, 2.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long time. And the pause led to me pretty much telling her to go to the other room, and then I would come back to it. But she knew I was not pleased.
Sure.
So, what's your take on this? On this Hewling station that you've just swilled on?
I'd say it's a banger.
Ooh, he said it's a banger.
I would say that I'm still a work in progress when it comes to how I feel. I am underneath the surface very raw. And that has to do with the childhood that I had and always trying to deal with emotional regulation. It is important to me, two things. And if I can implore the audience for any of this. One, the people that you surround yourself with, if they're healthy people, you want to keep them around you. I think if they're unhealthy people, that's a good topic for another conversation.
Unhealthy and toxic people.
Yeah. So we'll focus on the people that we want and or need in our lives. We want to make sure that they see us the way that we want to be seen. And we do not, and this is something that comes out of Franklin Covey, as this idea of an emotional bank account. And others have written about the same concept. So it's not exclusive to Covey. But it's one of the things that's talked about in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And that is this idea of an emotional bank account. You as a person, when you're dealing with others, are always going to make withdrawals and deposits into others' emotional bank accounts. But here's the catch. You never get to pick which you're doing.
No, you don't.
You are either making a deposit or you're making a withdrawal, and both are necessary. If you have depleted a person's emotional bank account, you have no credit with them anymore. If you've given them a ton of deposits, but you've never made a withdrawal, you're the one that's losing in the scenario. So really it is a give and take. But I think the most important part of that is that you can only control what you do. You can't control what people interpret, how they receive it, how they process it. And so if you want to grow your relationships with those around you in the best possible way, you need to be mindful about what you're putting out there. You need to be mindful about how you're externalizing these things that you're feeling, which is a really large part of that stoicism.
Indeed. Indeed.
So, and I think to help bring this to a bit of a conclusion, at least for now, remember HALT. I think that HALT is still a good thing to think about, because if you find yourself in a place of in a place of anger, and you are thinking, I need to prioritize my happiness, and I need to pause, even if it's just a second. Am I hungry, angry, lonely, tired, or stressed?
That's halts.
Halts. And you can hit one or more of those areas, but it at least will help you recognize other things that may be lending to make it a little more difficult for you to deal with the particular situation that you're in. And if you get the chance to be thoughtful in your responses, keep practicing.
And just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, follow us on the socials, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs it. 20 episodes in because of you, folks. We don't take that lightly. We thank you for being here talking shit today with us. So, like, follow, comment, share. We need you guys.
Absolutely.
Hey, X, do we have an Am I the Asshole segment?
Why, yes, we do. What a wonderful and not rehearsed at all segue into our next segment. So, this asshole situation, you have not been privy to this yet. So, if I may, I'm going to go into reading this, and I think this one's going to be interesting for us. So, now you asked me mid-segment as far as the idea on this Hewling station. What's your thoughts?
That's really good. That is bold. for 100 proof
Yeah.
for a bottle and bond.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
And it takes us right back to a whiskey or bourbon out of the weeder.
Yeah.
Right. This is a straight bourbon whiskey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
It drinks hotter.
good stuff. My palate's pretty open right now, so I don't know if I get the heat, but I will say that in the shelf is a 155 proofer.
Oh no, not tonight.
So
Not tonight, sir.
So getting into this, am I the asshole? So this is not a very long one.
That's okay.
It's to the point, but I think the conversation will be good. So reserve judgment until it's done, and we'll get into it.
Let's go.
So, am I the asshole? Asks narrator. For opening a bottle my best friend left at my house without asking him first. Wait. So here's the situation. My buddy, we'll call him Derek,
Kyle.
came over about 3 months ago for a watch party. He brought a bottle of allocated bourbon. Good stuff. We cracked it, had a few pours, and then he left the bottle at my place because his wife was picking him up and he wasn't trying to carry whiskey. I think you should always carry whiskey.
Yeah, you need pocket whiskey always.
Pocket whiskey. You know, there's actually a brand called APW, Pocket Whiskey.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. It sat in my cabinet 3 months. No communication about it. No, hey, I'll swing by and grab it. Nothing. My birthday rolls around. I've got 4 friends over. We're about to pour, and I realize the only interesting thing in my cabinet is Derek's bottle. I figured he left it. It's been 3 months, and if it mattered, he would have picked it up by now. So I opened it. We had a few pours. We killed the bottle. It was a fun birthday party. Derek texted me last week asking if he could swing by and grab, quote unquote, his bottle. I told him, I opened it for my birthday, and he's been worried about it ever since. I offered to replace it. He said that wasn't the point. So, Talking Shit Today audience and hosts, am I the asshole?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes. No, let's go with no first. First of all, Derek should have thought leaving a bottle there for months. That's first and foremost. Months. I can understand if it was a week, 2, but months.
Okay.
But yes, because if you were going to pop that bottle, was allocated, and you knew it was allocated, and it was a very hard to get bottle or a pricey bottle, you should have reached out to Derek and said, dude, my birthday's coming up. I got some people coming over. Is it cool if I pop that bitch? That's that. Now, the fact that his friend who drank it said, hey man, I'll replace it. That should have been like the end of story right there. Okay, cool. You're going to replace the bottle? No big deal. I'm down. No big deal. You drank it. We're good. As long as you replace it. I'm
Sure.
cool. So there's kind of semi-assholes on both sides of this. That's my take on it.
Okay. So 3 months, no contact about the bottle. Does this silence equal abandonment?
Yes, partially.
And does it change the calculus because it's an allocated bottle versus if it wasn't?
Depends on how accessible it is. If his friend's going to replace it, doesn't matter how allocated it is if he can get it.
We had a pretty highly allocated bottle today, which I haven't had in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So good point. And then is there really an unwritten law when you leave something at someone's house? Is there an expiration date?
Possession is 9/10 of the law, I believe.
So I'm going to weigh in, and I don't really feel it depends here. I think narrator is the asshole for one very specific reason. all you had to do was ask.
Indeed.
If you, and we talked about this in the last Am I the Asshole segment. If you simply reached out and said, hey, it's my birthday. This is the best bottle that's here. If I replace this, do you mind if I go ahead and drink this up tonight? And I think in those circumstances, even if Derek didn't respond, at least you took the effort to reach out.
Communication is key.
So dead ass silence on both sides. And then I choose to consume something that I didn't purchase. It's not the same situation as last one where there was a dual purchase and old boy went ahead and got rid of it, even though they had both purchased it because he needed it. What was his water heater broke or something?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I think narrator's the asshole here. Narrator just needed to put out a call, text, carrier pigeon, something.
Yeah. I agree with you on that one.
Made the effort to just talk. So they both could be assholes because that's a long time to wait.
3 months, man. You left that shit.
And like, did they not talk at all over these 3 months? Or did they talk and that bottle just never came up?
We don't know these things. These are the unknown factors.
Can you ever imagine us going any length of time without talking about one of the bottles that we own?
No.
Especially an allocated bottle?
Yeah, but we're different than most fuckers.
Yeah. I definitely had the short blue bus. I mean,
you the kid that wore the helmet and played no sports?
I played sports with helmets, but I think it was a single person game.
Yeah. Footbag doesn't require helmets, buddy.
It did when I played.
Might get kicked in the head.
We did full contact. So, I think that, yeah, I don't think that Derek is necessarily the asshole here. I think if Derek and narrator were close enough, especially if they had been talking the whole time, just not about that bottle.
Yeah.
That there's an assumption that, hey, my bottle's over there. You appreciate that. You know how it's allocated. You know it's difficult. You know whatever. You're probably not going to drink it. And then I think you're also right that you can placate the situation by, oh, you're going to replace it? Cool.
Done deal.
And we can just, go on about our day at that point.
You're
So, okay. Well, I think with that said,
assholes abound.
We have discovered another asshole. I think the unique twist on this one is it was the narrator. Most of the time, the narrator doesn't get to be the asshole. So I think that they earned it this time. A little bit of housekeeping too. One other thing that Ryan had confirmed for us that we talked about in the last episode was that when you are on base as enlisted or officer and you are not 21, you are not allowed to drink at the bar on base on U.S. soil.
That's whack.
So I kind of agree that if you're able to go die for our country, you should be able to drink while you're serving. So, and you have to be at least 18 to qualify for that. So
absolutely.
I mean, that's my personal take on it, but I guess getting a whole bunch of 18-year-old kids full of booze ready to go kill people, maybe not the best choice, but hey.
Well, if you're about to go into battle, you don't want to go in hungover.
Well, for sure. You've got to be focused. There's no doubt there.
And that goes for any one of our service members. So not just 18-year-olds.
Well, no, I get that. But especially, like, why is the drinking age 21 and not 18? And why is it not 25 and instead it's 21?
Well, it used to be 18.
So, and I don't think there's a state still that has it, but there are countries in which drinking age is 13 to 15.
Oh, yeah. And I could be wrong on this, but I think it's even younger in some other countries. Like,
You mean like toddlers with beer in their bottle?
I don't know if that young, but
I've got beer in my bottle sometimes.
I don't do beer anymore.
Why would you when you've got whiskey?
Exactly. It's funny because we'll go into places and I don't even look for their beer selection. I don't even see what they have on tap. I don't see what bottles they have. I want to see what whiskey bottles they have.
Yep.
So anyway. Well, thank you for clarifying that, X.
Yeah, I thought it was important because we left some open items in the last conversation, and we should probably address those. So before we get into our closing toast, I just wanted to go ahead and prop up. Guess what's coming next?
What?
We turn legal, sir.
21.
Episode 21. And I want to say, got a bit of a surprise. We won't rate this, but we've got a surprise bottle to commemorate 21 episodes. And should we reveal it, or should we hold on to it until we get to the episode?
I'd say let's hold it.
Ooh.
Let's leave them in limbo.
Okay.
You need to come back to here.
So I will say that the age statement reflects the episode number.
Okay, so 21-year-old bottle.
21-year-old juice.
I like it.
So
let's go.
It'll be one of the oldest age statements that I've had for bourbon. I think I've had a 25-year when we were at the Whiskey Riot.
Okay.
So, or sorry, not the Whiskey Riot, Whiskey Festival. I think that seal box was a 25-year. It could have been a 20-year if I don't remember, obviously. But it was, I had a lot of fun with you today, sir.
Oh, feelings are mutual, sir.
So, the War of the Weeders.
The Weeders.
Antiqu 107 stayed on top. That Old Fit 7 is still good. And I think the thing that I'm not sure I was surprised by, but when I had the Old Fitzgerald 7, and I was like, I really want to compare this to the Antiqu because the Antiqu is such a good bottle. And yeah, the Antiqu just held up. It was so much bolder. It was so much stronger in the profile. It still had the sweetness that you want out of a wheat. And I don't know. It was all around better than
I agree.
Old Fitz.
I agree.
So Old Fitz is more accessible. Oh, and we didn't button up as far as what that costs. That's costing about $65 right now a bottle.
Okay.
So a little bit higher MSRP, but it's much more available right now. I can think of 3 stores that I've seen 3 or 4 of them on the shelf right now. So, but I think it's about time to wrap us up, man.
Let's not go.
Aw.
Say it isn't so.
Well, I do think it's that time. So
It is. It is. 20 episodes. 20 conversations we almost didn't have. 20 glasses with people who showed up.
a little bit more than that.
20 reasons to keep going. Here's to the ones who've been here since the beginning. Here's to the ones who found us somewhere in the middle. And here's to the ones who find us after tonight. Welcome. To the shelves we protect and the friendships worth more than any bottle on them. To 20. Let's get to 21. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
Yo, the time is up, the mic's gone cold. We drop the talk real hot and bold. From Lumpy to General Lex, ain't no delay. Thanks for talking shit with us today. And yo, thanks for talking shit with Lumpy and X. Breaking it down till there's nothing complex. Riding the beat as we close the show. Catch you next time on the late night flow. Spin the dial, rewind the tape. We keep it real, this ain't no escape. Laughs and truth serve raw, not sweet. Mic drop, Lumpy and Next, bring the heat. Hey yo, thanks for talking shit with Lumpy and Next. Dropping truths and making you reflect. We out like a jammer, smooth and slow. See you next time where the convos glow. Words in the air as the beat fades out. Lumpy and Next, that's what we're about. So keep it locked till the very last say. Thanks for talking shit, we out today.